Welcome back, Caistrology family, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Cailin, and on my channel I post monthly horoscope videos, monthly tarot pick-a-card predictions, and content related to spirituality and occult knowledge. So if this is the kind of content that you're interested in, please hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified every time I post a new video. As for this month, for November 2020, it is wild, guys. We've got 3 planets that are finally turning direct. We've got Jupiter and Pluto forming their 3rd and final conjunction in the sign of Capricorn. And we've also got a full moon eclipse at the end of the month. So guys, if you're only going to watch one video today, please watch for your ascendant sign, and you can certainly watch for your sun and moon signs as well. But without further ado, let's just dive straight in. Hi Libra Sun, Moon and Risings, welcome to your November 2020 horoscope. The month kicks off with Mercury finally turning direct in your 1st house. It initially went retrograde around middle of October in Scorpio, and then it kept retrograding into Libra. So that means that Mercury retrograde has been affecting your 1st and your 2nd house. So with the 1st house having your retrograde there, you've probably been in high demand. And by that, I mean lots of calls, emails, texts. You've probably had a lot of people wanting to communicate with you, or you've had to be the messenger in any kind of scenario, whether that's at work, whether that's in any kind of difficult conversation with family members, friends, siblings, colleagues. Whatever it is for you guys, it's been communication, communication, communication. So now that Mercury is finally direct, these conversations will start going smoothly. The influx of calls and emails will finally settle down a little bit. And in any case, you've probably been rethinking what you want to do with your life and how you self-identify, because Mercury, whenever a planet is retrograde, we start reevaluating or rethinking things in terms of Mercury, because Mercury rules our thoughts and our communication. So now that Mercury is direct, perhaps you have been working on some kind of project, and it might be in media or related to sales, anything to do with commerce, writing, blogging. You could be a radio host, you could be on TV, you could be an influencer, it might be social media related. Whatever ideas or things you've been working on in the background and you've had to redo over and over again, all these projects are finally ready to launch in earnest, and at the very least they will go smoothly. On the 10th of November, Mercury will be entering the sign of Scorpio. And as I mentioned, Mercury in Scorpio was retrograde in your 2nd house for probably 2/3 of the retrograde period. And that might have brought about some complications with your finances, how you earn income. The 2nd house rules our valuables and our possessions, and it also rules our self-worth. Anything that we value is shown in the 2nd house, and how you value yourself is certainly no exception to that. So now that Mercury will be progressing into the 2nd house in direct motion, if you've had issues with your financial situation, these will start straightening out. And if you've been wanting to sell valuables or possessions, or perhaps you've been wanting to purchase valuables or possessions, this can go well as well, because Mercury rules sales. So I would never normally recommend someone to sell something or purchase something in high value during Mercury retrograde. But if that's on your agenda, definitely you can go full steam ahead from the 10th of November. From the middle of November, because we see a 2-week post-retrograde shadow period for 2 weeks after the 3rd of November. Now, Venus has been in your sign, so Venus has been in Libra since the beginning of the month, and she'll stay there until the 20th of November. So what this means is you can enjoy a revitalized sense of energy You might enjoy getting a new hairstyle, updating your wardrobe, making any kind of change to your appearance. If that's not the case, you can simply just feel more attractive at this time. You'll be more charismatic, which is pretty hard for you guys because you're already super charismatic, but you'll definitely be able to charm the pants off of anyone. So if you do have a precarious situation that you're dealing with or a difficult conversation that you've been putting off, now would be the time during that first 20 days of November to have that difficult conversation. On another level, you'll just be feeling more confident and attractive in general. Now, on the 12th of November, we have the third and final conjunction between Jupiter and Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. These two planets form a conjunction once every 12 to 13 years. So yeah, it's kind of a big deal. Now, the first conjunction was on the 4th of April, and the second conjunction, because these planets, actually, you know what? I'm not going to go into it. Just bear with me. On the 4th of April, these two planets were conjunct. Okay, so they were both at the exact same degree, and that brought about some kind of crisis related to your 4th house. Now, the 4th house rules over your home life, your immediate family, in particular your parents, and for most people this represents the mother. But because you have Capricorn representing the 4th house, it could be your father, because in astrology, Cancer rules the mother, Capricorn rules the father. So for Libra, especially Libra ascendants, they can be kind of flipped. So anyway, it could be some kind of crisis to do with your parents, mother or father, your home life, so where you're living, property that you own, whether you are living in it, doesn't matter if you're whether it's an investment property or property that you live in, that you own. It could even be something to do with moving between rental properties, whatever it is. It could pertain to property as an umbrella term, and it could also be in relation to your newborn child if you do have one, or some kind of family issue, sort of like I hesitate to use the word generational curse, the term generational curse, but if there has been some kind of emotional issue or obstacle or blockage that your parents had and their parents had, or that it runs in your family and you feel like you are dealing with a similar thing, that could have been the crises. So basically, when Jupiter and Pluto form a conjunction, we experience a crisis or an issue which forces us or propels us to take strong action in these matters. So if you maybe found out that you were adopted, or that there were hidden family secrets, or you have had to change residence, or you've been waiting on paperwork or documentation, or you've been having arguments with your partner about where to live, all these things can finally be resolved, and the challenging circumstances that you have been experiencing from early April until now, and especially around June as well, all of this can be rectified and put to bed. So whatever you went through, Libra, it was a fated event, and whatever has come out of this situation has put you on a course or a path which is more aligned with your true purpose and your highest good and your higher self. Now, on the 14th of November, we will see Mars being direct in Aries, and that is in your 7th house. The 7th house rules partnerships and relationships of all kinds. It can be your spouse. If you're not married, it can certainly be your life partner. Anyone that you're in a long-term committed relationship with is shown by the 7th house, as are business partners and one-on-one clients. So Mars as a planet is quite aggressive and antagonistic in nature. Now, the fact that it's in your 7th house, it can represent that you've been having disagreements, arguments, or even just difference of opinion with your partner. Again, life partner, spouse, business partner, or even with one-on-one clients or close one-on-one relationships. There's been some kind of discord there. Now, it might be with one of the aforementioned individuals, or it could be with several of them, because the 7th house rules all of your partnerships. And the 7th house also rules contracts. So perhaps you weren't having difficulties with a partner, but the way that this Mars in retrograde can manifest is by there being a breaking of contracts in some way, shape, or form. That can be with your business partner. It can be that you've gone through with a breakup with a partner, with a serious partner, not someone that you've just been dating for 3 weeks. On another level, Mars being retrograde can indicate that your partner had some kind of health issue that they had to deal with, especially between early September and, I was going to say now, but who knows when you're watching this video, but between the 9th of September and the 14th of November, maybe even end of August, your partner might have had some kind of health crisis or issue that they've had to deal with. They might have had an accident, or they might have even have had to undergo surgery or an operation of some kind. Again, Mars retrograde can play out in many different ways. It all depends on the individual's horoscope. But moving right along, on the 15th of November, we'll see a new moon in Scorpio, which is in your, it's in your second house, Libra. So it's in a wide conjunction with Mercury. The new moon's at 23 degrees. Mercury is at 5 degrees. So it is quite a wide conjunction, as I said, but it's still worth noting. And it's in a wide opposition with Uranus, which is at 8 degrees, and that is in your 8th house. To recap, the 2nd house represents your valuables, possessions, your own self-value and self-worth, and it represents your personal income that you make. On the other side of the coin, the 8th house, which is exactly opposite, represents your mutual resources and a number of other things. But the new moon in the 2nd house will have some kind of unexpected element to it, because Uranus as a planet represents swift change, anything unexpected or shocking. So this could see an improvement in your income. You might even develop a new stream of income, an alternate stream of income. You could certainly have a newfound sense of self-worth and confidence from this new moon. Or on another level, you could procure or purchase a valuable possession or item that you really wanted. You might get it for really cheap, or it might actually be given to you. Now, it could be anything, but it actually could be, it could, honestly, like it could be, I don't know, a chest of drawers, right? But it also could be Uranian in nature, which would indicate something to do with technology, devices, phone, laptop, whatever, anything to do with modern science, astrology. It could be Scorpionic in nature, because the new moon is in Scorpio, and Scorpio is a sign that is associated with the occult. So you could be given a deck of tarot cards, and it could be something mercurial in nature. It could be a typewriter. It could be a beautiful, expensive pen or a journal or whatever. I don't know why I went into so much detail with this. Anyway, something unexpected, and it's something interesting and valuable, or it's more money. Awesome. Now, on the 20th of November, Venus enters Scorpio. Again, this is in your 2nd house. So You are going to be enjoying your finances more. You're going to enjoy spending on luxurious items, or it could manifest as you going out to nice dinners, enjoying fine wine, fine dining with friends or family or whoever. Wherever Venus goes, it brings some kind of beneficial energy, and Venus represents wealth and it's in the wealth house. So, you know, an unexpected sum of money could definitely be coming your way, even if it's a one-off bonus. You know, your money houses are looking pretty good, Libra. Now, also on the 20th of November, the sun will be changing signs from Scorpio into Sagittarius, which means that it's kicking off Sagittarius season. Now, your third house represents communications of all kinds, writing, speaking. It also rules short trips, your day-to-day meetings, appointments, the daily commute. And with the sun transiting the third house, wherever the sun goes, and it changes signs every month, there is a focus or an intense focus on the matters of that house. So you could have a lot more appointments, a lot more meetings. You could be having to attend to more emails and texts as normal, phone calls or whatever. Now, it could actually be that your sibling, in particular younger siblings, and even more in particular your immediate youngest sibling, has a lot of attention on them for this month. Perhaps they received a promotion at work, or they had some kind of glow up and now, you know, they're receiving a lot of compliments, or, you know, there's some kind of achievement or recognition that they're receiving in their life, and that's how it's showing up in your chart, because the third house represents your younger sibling. Now, on the 29th of November, Neptune will be direct in the sign of Pisces, which will be in your 6th house. Neptune has been retrograde for the past 5 months, and Neptune is retrograde for approximately 5 months every year. So it's not a huge deal, but it is worth mentioning. If seeing as Neptune doesn't rule your sign and you're not a mutable sign, it's not going to have a huge impact on you, Libra. I just thought I'd mention it because there may be some kind of clarity that you now have surrounding a health condition, a health concern, or even, you know, it could even be to do with your vices, any addictions that you have, and that could be anything, whether it's honestly drinking or an addiction to social media. You'll have more clarity surrounding the matters of the 6th house. Now, on the 30th of November, we have a full moon eclipse in the sign of Gemini, and this is in your 9th house. Now, full moon eclipses bring about some kind of ending of a cycle. There's something coming full circle. It's the culmination of something. And eclipses are always fated events, and they can occur within 3 to 6 months max from the time of the event. So 3 to 6 months from the end of November, any of the following could happen. You could be celebrating completing a course, and that could be honors degree, master's, PhD, whatever it is, some kind of higher education. So university studies could be coming to an end during that 0 to 6 month period. And if that's the case, congratulations, Libra. On another note, it could be something to do with the law, because the 9th house is one of the houses that represents the law, as well as the 7th house. So you could be completing the bar. You could be being promoted to being a judge. You know, it could be very high up look, I'd be surprised if anyone who's about to becoming a judge is watching this video. That'd be pretty awesome. But anyway, tangent aside, on another level, you might now be a certified teacher or mentor, or even a spiritual leader or religious leader in some kind of capacity, because the 9th house does rule teachers, mentors, gurus, and religion. On another level, one of those figures could be entering your life if you've been wanting to manifest a spiritual guidance counselor, or if you wanted a mentor to take you under their wing with your university studies, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be spiritual, it doesn't have to be religious. This is related to you either being taught or you becoming a teacher and having involvement with other people in a teaching role. On a completely different level, the ninth house rules travel, long-term travel, and also relocating to another country. So I'm not talking about a 10-day trip to Bali, Libra. If you have serious travel plans to live abroad for an extended period of time, whether that's, 3 months or 10 years or indefinitely, I'm sure that your travel plans have been thwarted up until now, but the good news is these opportunities will, if it's what you've been working on, because this won't be I should preface this by saying this full moon eclipse won't be something that you have been, that comes out of the blue. This will be something that you've been working towards, Libra. So if you've been wanting to relocate abroad, if you wanted to be accepted to study overseas, all these sorts of plans pertaining to travel and even acquiring visas or citizenship, they can be sorted out over the next, let's say, tops 6 months for you guys, Libra. Now, it could manifest as a huge achievement with regard to import-export if you are in that business, and it could actually manifest as a big life change for your father, because the ninth house represents your father, and it also represents your sister, your in-laws, sibling-in-laws, brother-in-law, sister-in-law. It could be a big life change that's happening for them, because that's also represented by the ninth house. Now, lastly, if it's none of the above or nothing that I just mentioned, it could simply be that you have a huge epiphany relating to your spiritual beliefs, religious beliefs, or otherwise. You could suddenly have a spiritual awakening. You could be changing religions, converting to religions, letting go or walking away from the religion that you've been a part of. You could suddenly be an atheist, or an atheist who suddenly believes in something. Whatever it is, Libra, just re-watch the last 5 minutes of this video and see what pertains to you. But nonetheless, that's all I have for you today. So if you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a like. If you'd like to see more content from me, please subscribe to Caistrology, and I will see you guys next time. Have a great November, Libra.